the police have it all blocked off.
I can't believe we actually found one.
Good morning, passengers. Japan Airlines Flight 17 to Tokyo Narita.
Gentlemen, we have just landed at Narita International Airport.
I think that way.
That way, really?
Yeah, we're very close.
Oh, we are very close.
We weren't. We continued walking towards what we thought was our hotel, but little did we know there's actually a lot of Appa hotels in Tokyo, and the one we were looking for was about a 40-minute walk from here. But that was the least of our worries. We were about to face our biggest challenge yet.
Where's the light switch?
It's gotta be this.
Bathroom ceiling. That's fans, I think. Bed. The bed turns on.
We cheaped out too much, there's no lights.
We got a flashlight.
I did it! After playing Pac-Man for 10 hours straight, we finally made it to our first hotel. And I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but it came as quite the surprise to me that when people talk here, there aren't any subtitles, and that makes things pretty difficult to find your way around. Also, we've been here for a couple hours, and I don't have a harem of girls in love with me, so I'm not entirely convinced that we've even come to the right place. But, I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
It's currently 5:05 in the morning. Thank you. It's currently 5:05 in the morning, and we're about to attempt to walk from Shinjuku over to Ginza? Which one is it?
Japan.
We're about to try to walk over to Japan.
Ginza.
We're about to try to walk from Shinjuku over to Ginza and see what we can see.
We started walking towards Ginza, and I noticed that on the map that we're gonna come right across the stairs and the train station from Your Name, so that'll actually be our first location. Walking and drinking like a degenerate. Oh crap, I forgot. After reporting Ari to the police for his disgusting coffee-related crimes, we started walking towards the staircase. But we only made it a few minutes before stumbling into an empty courtyard, which, unknown to us, turned out to be the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building, which is generally a pretty popular tourist destination, but since nobody else was dumb enough to be awake at this hour, we had it all to ourselves. After far too long of exploring and taking pictures, which if you'd like to see are all over on Instagram.com/that'skindofneat, we remembered our mission and decided to push on. But again, we didn't make it very far before seeing something cool. After surviving the angel attack, we began the longest leg of our journey. The map only took us a few blocks off the main street, but it felt like being transported into an entirely different city.
What are they doing cosplay? She has the ribbon in her head. Look on the camera. It looks like the shot in the movie.
can't believe we actually found one. This is ridiculous. You remember when I was sitting in my room and I said, kind of hoping by making this video that the plan would seem more doable, but if anything, it just makes me more uneasy. Well, it's actually working. We actually are finding locations, and I mean, obviously this is a pretty easy and popular one. I'm kind of speechless how spot on this is to the film. Like, everything, all the details are here. It's really, really cool. Oh, you're like way too tall. Bend over. You're way too tall. Yeah, keep going down. You have to fake it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and then I'm walking up this side. The framing doesn't really work. Perfect. Alright, we did it. Just as we were about to leave, we noticed a map of Your Name locations just sitting on top of a bench held down by a few rocks. I think it says a lot about Japan that nobody's ever taken it. It showed locations I've never seen before and definitely came in handy on the rest of the expedition. Another one. This is a good example of a shot where the geometry of the space has been tweaked to make a nicer composition for the film, and therefore cannot actually be recreated in real life. I had this problem several times throughout the trip, and what I ended up doing is choosing one prominent object to use as my anchor, which in this case is this building in the background, so even if everything else is off, the anchor should line up fairly closely. There's like a building poking out. Oh, it's that building. Oh, it's way over. Oh, it's like this. Oh yeah, you can even see the lantern. Yeah, go to the lane again. So we're trying to get to the Imperial Palace, but the police have it all blocked off. The Emperor has a new groove or something, or there's a new Emperor, so that might be why it's shut down, because there's a big march or parade happening tomorrow. But we're gonna do the next best thing, which is go to the Marunouchi building, which is a location from Tsukigakure. Giving up on seeing the palace, we began the long journey to the Tokyo National Art Center, which is the location of the cafe that Taki took Miki on a date to. I started to feel nervous that we made such a long journey for nothing. The shot I needed was clearly from the 3rd floor, but all the stairs seemed to be blocked off. I was just about to give up hope when Ari came to me saying that he found an open elevator.
This is a cool building. That's definitely it.
Although the art center was a long ways to go for just 2 shots, I'm so glad we did because they definitely turned out to be some of my all-time favorites. It was getting late, so we began the long journey home, only stopping for the absolute essentials. And by essentials, I mean we went to Akihabara. After exploring a 5-story anime merch building for way too long, we got kind of thirsty and had no choice but to stop at a hedgehog cafe for refreshments. Exhausted from an incredibly long day, we headed straight back to our hotel to sleep, is what we should have done, but what actually happened is sort of a blur. corn from a vending machine before?
I just did for you.
Corn. I gotta eat it while it's hot. My face is covered in corn. That is the corn meme. It's honestly not bad. So I'm at my hotel in Roppongi. Ari just went all the way back to the Sky Tree to buy a jacket that he saw that he really liked. So I was thinking that I might go find some more locations. But the first location I wanted to go to, the Mori Art Museum, and then get up on the roof, which is a location from Weathering and You. But for some reason, since it's Japan, on Tuesdays, basically everything's closed or closes early. So I was gonna go down to Minato City and check out some Love is War locations, but the sun's probably setting pretty quick, so I wouldn't make it. So I think I might just go walk to where the high school from Your Name is and just try to grab a couple shots there. I had to walk as fast as I could because I knew I was losing sunlight quick. When I finally got to the first location, I encountered a new problem. People. And more people. And a couple more people. And this dude trying to watch the sunset. While rushing to grab some B-roll, I accidentally captured another shot from Your Name, just from a much wider angle. At this point the sun was basically gone, so I broke out into a jog, because I really wanted to get one last shot before dark. It broke my heart a little that in my determination, I had to run straight past a street festival. It smelled so strongly of delicious takoyaki that I almost tripped and could have smashed my camera and dreams into a million pieces. Now this next shot I'm really not proud of. It was getting so dark that I knew the lighting wasn't going to remotely match, and in my frustration I completely screwed up the framing. Notice how lining up certain anchors completely throws off the rest of the composition. Walking away, I took one last look at the memorial gallery before bowing my head in shame. All I could think about was what that nice gentleman on the bridge would think of me after I failed to recreate the last scene. But then something happened. I heard a strange song playing off in the distance. And that's when I remembered. I pulled a sick 180 and began jogging towards the music. Before I knew it, my nostrils filled with the scent of fresh takoyaki, and a weight was lifted from my shoulders as I forgot all about my little blunder. If there's one thing I learned from my first trip to Japan, it's the magic of just picking a direction and walking. My favorite memories of the trip are the times we didn't have an objective or agenda and ended up just stumbling into places and adventures like that festival that otherwise I would never have seen. Don't be afraid to turn down an alley you weren't supposed to or walk into the first restaurant you see. I managed to meet back up with Ari and together we searched for more locations around Shinjuku. After scouring Tokyo for Your Name locations to film, I was sad to be moving on, but the excitement of seeing the incredible views of Mount Fuji from the very same places showcased in Eurocamp made it hard to sleep. That and the nightmares I was having about driving on the left side of the road. There was only one thing left for us to do before I'd be okay with calling our Tokyo experience complete. So even if we're out watching weird robot shows,
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe because there are many more episodes on their way featuring different anime from all across Japan. If you'd like to see all the comparison shots from this episode in more detail, I've uploaded a compilation of just the locations. And if you want to support a second season of Anime Expedition, I've got a link to my Patreon down below.